Yo, what's going on, guys? And today I want to talk about NBA free agency is dead. Where did I get this? We talked about it on the NBA show. Link is in the description. That's our daily talk show at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And it was a conversation I brought up due to the fact that I personally believed that our view in free agency, everyone goes back to 2016, that big old year because the salary cap jump. And for a majority of the offseason, I have thought, okay, 2025 or 2026, that could happen again. And as you guys know, I interview NBA media members or NBA writers, and my most recent one was with Mike Virkunov of The Athletic. And I had a conversation with him, but really the conversation came from an Athletic podcast, and they discussed that NBA free agency was dead. They joked about it. They didn't really go into talk. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, NBA free agency is dead. You do not build a team through free agency anymore. And my friend was on the other day on the show, and he brought up a great point. Look at the New York Knicks. The Knicks are the definition of a team that has continually tried to build through free agency and has utterly failed. Because of what? Because the current CBA collective bargaining agreement makes it basically stupid if you leave your team, okay? You are taking less money to leave your team. So how do you build a team now? Two ways: through the draft or through the trade, okay? And why? Because you're going to always be able to re-sign your players that you have the bird rights or the rookie extension eligibility due to the fact that you can pay them 15% more than anybody else majority of the time. Now, that is why superstars, all-stars, starting level players don't go into free agency anymore. Like Jalen Brunson was the cream of the crop of this free agency. That's like not that big compared to other. Like when free agency started this year, we had like 8, maybe 10 signings. Back in the day, it used to be 30, 40 signings like that minute free agency started. And I saw a report by NBA Central saying that the Knicks believe having Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell would spur another star to join them in New York. And it goes back to the whole thought process that teams should not build through free agency. And we kind of saw it with the Knicks, okay? The Knicks a few years ago when they went all in for Kyrie and stuff. And Kyrie ended up choosing Brooklyn instead of New York. And there's so many other times behind that. Okay, the last time they had success bringing a free agent in, I think, was Amari Stoudemire. And this isn't even a Knicks fit. This is just in general. Teams don't have success building through free agency as often as they do in the past. Now, players will be re-signed by their teams because they know that's the most money. And an example I used was the Keldon Johnson signing was because they're going to keep Keldon Johnson long term, and hopefully he becomes the franchise cornerstone. And if he doesn't become the franchise cornerstone, now he's locked up long term and he's on a tradable contract. That's how it's done in the NBA now. Okay? People don't make it to free agency anymore. Free agency is dead. There is no point to have a free agency anymore because everyone's incentivized to re-sign with their current team. And even if they don't want to be there, wait a few months, get traded. Because that's how it is. And the reason why people rather trade, because what do? You trade your player to get draft assets, to draft players, and then to eventually be able to trade for a superstar. Because when you trade one of your good players, you're expecting draft assets and development players. Why? Because that way you can replace that player through the draft, then extend those drafted players. Hopefully one of them becomes the franchise cornerstone, and then you have all these picks to go trade. See, everything in the NBA is done for trades, for another trade. Okay? Because when you're building a team and you're getting rid of guys, you're trying to get rid of guys to bring in more guys from the draft and then eventually be able to trade some of those picks that are very down the road, like the Thunder, to get a superstar. This is what the Thunder are doing. They're not going to draft every single player with those picks. God, I don't even think they have the roster space for that. What they're going to do is once, if they do get Victor Wembanyama, or if this is the final piece, they feel like, oh, we need a superstar to get, as the cherry on top, go ahead and do that. But yeah, this comes down to my thought that I think free agency is dead. And hey, I think it's, the best way to look at it. Maybe I'm wrong, okay? But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this.